Hi, I'm Mike Huxley and this is the Bermuda Backpacker channel. Make sure you stay tuned because in this episode we're talking about looking for and finding accommodation on your gap year and asking if it's really necessary to pre-book accommodation in advance. Finding accommodation as you travel around the world is one of the biggest worries that a lot of first-time backpackers panic about. They think that they may not be able to find any, that they'll be stuck without a place to stay or everywhere will be full, or even worse, that they'll end up in a dingy, bedbug-ridden hellhole full of the bunkmates from hell. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's always been easy to find amazing places to stay on your gap year, if you know what to look for. And it's easier now than it has ever been. There are tons of booking sites and aggregate sites now that give you hundreds of options and reviews from your smartphone. And a lot of backpackers do use these and pre-book their accommodation in advance for weeks in advance or months in advance. Now, this is an okay option and it's still necessary from time to time, but it's not your only one. The big problem is that spontaneity is a huge part of backpacking around the world, and if you book ahead so much, you lose a huge part of that. Having everything pre-booked in advance takes away a lot of the adventure behind travel in the world. You may as well be a tourist and just let a tour company organise everything for you. Trust me, there is no better feeling in the world like jumping off the boat onto a tropical island and using your initiative to find a nice beach hut, or arriving in a new city or village and finding an awesome place to stay off your own bat. It's all part of the adventure. And the best way to do this is still the old-fashioned way. So go old school and do a bit of research first so you know the average price of rooms and whereabouts you want to stay. Then just turn up, check a few places out and make your decision on where you want to stay when you find a place you like. That way you can check out places before you commit and see if they have everything you need. A lot of smaller hostels, beach huts and guest houses aren't even in these booking sites, so you stand a much better chance of finding a hidden gem this way as well. And one that isn't overcrowded by people who've looked on Hostelworld or Booking.com. Some of the best places I have ever stayed in over the years have been the smaller independent places across the road from the packed, slightly warm place featured in Lonely Planet or those booking sites. And it's often a lot easier to barter a better rate if you walk in as well. But if you book everything in advance, all you get is the rate that you pay on the website. And sometimes that's better, sometimes it's not. You do have to gauge it. But in general terms, it's better to just go and find a place, find a nice room, barter a price, and just stay there. There are 3 exceptions to this rule though. The first is right at the start of your trip. Now, after a long flight, you'll be tired, you'll be disorientated by your new surroundings, and you'll be really confused at what's going on. So booking a nice private room for yourself will really help you orientate yourself. Just have a little bit of rest before you carry on your travels. The second is if you're arriving in a new place late at night. No one wants to be going from place to place in the early hours of the morning when it's pitch black and trying to find a place to stay. It's not the best idea for your safety. And finally, it's a good idea to pre-book when you're traveling during major holidays or festivals or anything like that, because places do tend to fill up fast in those times. Other than that, it's just generally better to make your own way and find your own accommodation without pre-booking. By all means, use the booking sites as part of your research. Have a rough idea of what area you want to stay in, what options are out there, and roughly what prices to expect. But then just walk around, find a nice place that you like, find a nice room that you like, and barter a rate. It is so much easier. So that's it guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit those thumbs up and subscribe buttons, and if you like what you see and want to support the channel, check out all the good stuff on the website as well, and come and join in the conversation on social media too. Links as always are in the description down below. Thank you again for watching and I will see you next week.